Om Namo Bhagavate Vaya.
So here, Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 8 is prayers by Queen Kunti. This is a continuation of the chapter. And we're hearing Queen Kunti's prayers offering various glorifications of the Lord. And also now she's in a series of prayerful light statements saying that you have appeared for this reason, for that reason, for this reasons. Some say you appear for this reason. Some say you appear for this reason. Now she continues on with her prayerful mood, which is almost like a conjecture, but at the same time, it's meant to glorify the Lord. Others say that since both Vasudeva and Devaki prayed for you, you have taken birth as their son. Undoubtedly, you are unborn, yet you take your birth for the welfare, their welfare, and to kill those who are envious of the demigods. It is also said that Vasudeva and Devaki in the previous birth as Sutapa and Prishni underwent a severe type of penance to get the Lord as their son. The result of such austerities, the Lord appeared as their son. It is already declared in the Bhagavad Gita that Lord appears for the welfare of the people of the world and to vanquish the asuras or the materialistic atheists. Om Gyanti Midandasya Kiranjana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasman Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine. Nirsesa Sunyavadi Pasyatya Satarine Vanchakalpa Turudasya Kripa Sindhu Paevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So here, again, we continue with her conjecture-like prayers. Some say you came for this reason, others say you came for this reason. We will find out that actually all of the reasons that Kunti mentions, and even the ones she doesn't mention, were all true. In other words, they all were the reasons why the Lord came. But then again, there are some that are more outstanding in the Lord's own personal desire for his own advent, and that will be coming up. But here, there's an interesting statement here, because in the Bhagavatam it mentions that Krishna appears to in his different incarnations of himself, and also as himself, as Krishna himself, to kill those who are envious of the demigods. That's mentioned in the third chapter, the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Ete cham sampalam pum sam Krishnas tu Bhagavan Swayam. That the manifestations of the Lord's appearance is to rid the world of the atheist, envious, demoniac personalities. Of course, this is a sub-reason in the sense that there are more prominent reasons why the Lord comes, but this is a side factor of the Lord's appearance. And it also gives relief to the world, and it gives happiness to the devotees to see the demons eliminated, because the demons cause so much trouble. Srila Prabhupada explains that because of demoniac leadership in the world, demoniac governments, and demoniac people all over in high places, people are suffering. Generally, people are good by nature, but they're misled and exploited and ultimately harassed by demons. And because of that, it causes great burden upon the earth and upon those who are pious, especially it mentions here the demigods. So one of the reasons why the Krishna comes, and you'll see many of his pastimes, he's killing demons such as Kamsa, Sakatashura, Putana, Pakasura, Agasura, so many, Keshi, Aristasura. The list goes on, numerous demons the Lord kills. But these are for him, they're like playful events. For the Lord to kill a demon, it's not so hard because the Lord is all powerful and all he has to do is just think and the demon is dead. But in order to make it interesting, he gets into a fight and it makes everything more exciting. He plays both as an ordinary person, but at the same time, he exhibits his godlike potency when it comes time to kill the demon. Now, this is Krishna. And many of the demons who have come to assist Krishna by becoming his enemy, such as Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, two brothers. We have Dantravarka and Shishupal. We have Ravana and Kumbhakarna, again, two brothers. All came to give pleasure to the Lord and playing the role of demons in the world. So you might think, wow, the devotees have to suffer so much. No, devotees never suffer because they simply take shelter of Krishna. They're inconvenienced by the demons, and sometimes that inconvenience becomes great sources of harassment. But the devotees know that simply by taking shelter of Krishna, and the difficulties that come upon the world are simply the mercy of the Lord in order to create he doesn't bring these difficulties on, he allows them to happen. That has to be clarified. Krishna doesn't create difficulty for anyone, but when the demons create difficulties, he allows it to happen, which gives the chance for the devotees to take shelter of him, purify their hearts, and go back home, back to Godhead, which is the ultimate goal of life. So for a devotee, nothing is inauspicious, as because it leads one to greater shelter of the Lord, greater devotion to the Lord, and ultimately reaching perfection in life. So Krishna will allow these things to go on just to purify. And of course, when he kills a demon, because the demon is also his part and parcel, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu Name Dvaishastina Priya. I am not partial to anyone. I envy no one, and I'm equal to everyone. So if he's killing the demons and uplifting the devotees, how is he equal? Well, his equality is understood according to how they approach the Lord. So those who are demons, the Lord purifies them from their demoniac nature by killing them and giving them liberation. And they attain a high platform in the spiritual realm. So he shows mercy to the demons by killing them. If he allows them to go on, to continue, then their own activities cause them to create greater and greater sins, and then they also go deeper down into the element of material existence. So therefore, Krishna kills them, elevates them, and purifies them at the same time, and at the same time relieves the world of the burden of demoniac personalities. So this is one of the reasons why he comes, but it's not the main reason. Within this verse itself, you'll find that he also comes as a son of his devotees. Here it's mentioned Sutapa and Prishnigarbha, who were Vasudeva and Devaki. Sometimes they're considered to be the real mother and father of Krishna. Although Krishna appeared simultaneously, sometimes we think that Krishna appeared in the jail cell and then he was transferred to Vrindavan by Vasudeva, and then he appeared there. And that is also true. But there is another element of mysticism that is played out in that activity, is that when Vasudeva brought baby Krishna there, took the girl that Mother Yasoda had and brought her back to the jail cell in Mathura, Mother Yasoda also had a boy, and that boy was Krishna. She had twins, a boy and a girl. And then that boy, who was Krishna himself, and the one that Vasudeva brought, they merged into one. So Vrindavan Krishna and Vasudeva Krishna became one in Vrindavan. Therefore, because Vrindavan Krishna doesn't kill demons, he simply plays with his devotees. He has friendly and loving relationships. But the Vasudeva element of Krishna within the entire personality of Krishna is the one that kills the demons, and not Vrindavan Krishna. So all this is being played out in such a nice way, and Krishna gives pleasure to his devotees. And you might say, how is he giving pleasure to Devaki and Vasudeva? Devaki was put into such a horrible situation where she was almost killed by her brother, and then she had to undergo the suffering of a mother watching her children being killed by her own brother. So this was really difficult. But she still remained fixed on Krishna despite all that. So Devaki teaches us that despite what is apparently happening and going in a different direction, if one remains fixed on Krishna with faith in devotion, then ultimately Krishna purifies everyone and gives everyone their shelter, and they can go back home, back to Godhead. So Krishna performs many activities with one activity, or he accomplishes many desires simply by one activity. And this is Krishna. We even do that sometimes too. When we do something, we may get 2 or 3 things done by doing one thing. And Krishna is so versatile that he can do one thing and he can accomplish many things just by one thing. That's Krishna. And so here we're hearing from Kunti how he is so magnanimous that he appears as the son of 2 great personalities who simply perform austerities in order to get him as their son. In previous incarnations, they were also the same Sutapa and yeah. So in a previous incarnation, they also performed austerity as Sutapa and Prishni. And another name for Krishna is Prishnigarbha. And now they became Devaki and Vasudeva, like that. So we can go on to the next verse to get further enlightened of Krishna's reasons. This is verse number 34. Bhargavata Rana, Bharvatara Ranayanye Bhuvanava Ivodado Siddhatya Bhuribarena Jatayatman Bhuvartitaha. Others say that the world being overburdened like a boat at sea is much aggrieved, and that Brahma, who is your son, prayed for you, and so you have appeared to diminish the trouble. So here we're getting the same follow-up. Purport: Brahma, the first living being born just after the creation, is a direct son of Narayan. Narayan, as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, first of all, entered the material universe. Without spiritual contact, matter cannot create. That's a very important thing. Matter is dead. Matter is called jadya. Jadya, that means it has no life. But matter moves only because of the presence of spirit. Our bodies are working only because the soul is present in the body. When the soul disappears, the body is simply a lump of matter with no life. The principle was followed from the very beginning of creation. The Supreme Spirit entered the universe, and the living being, Brahma, was born of the lotus flower grown from the transcendental abdomen of Vishnu. Vishnu is therefore known as Padnabhya. Brahma is also known as Atmabhu because he was begotten directly from the Father without any contact from Mother Lakshmi. This is a name for Brahma. He's called Atmabhu, means he was born without a mother. Lakshmi Devi was present near Narayan, engaged in the service of the Lord, and still without contact with Lakshmi Ji, Narayan begot Brahma. That is the omnipotency of the Lord. One who foolishly considers Narayan like other living beings should take a lesson from this. Narayan is not an ordinary living being. He is the personality of God himself, and he has all the potencies of all the senses and all parts of his transcendental body. An ordinary living being begets their children by sexual intercourse, and he has no other means to beget other than the one designed for him. But Narayan, being omnipotent, is not bound by any condition of energy. He is complete and independent to do anything and everything by his various potencies, very easily and perfectly. Brahma is therefore directly the son of the Father and was not put into the womb of a mother. Therefore, he is known as Atmabhu. This Brahma is in charge of further creations in the universe, secondarily reflected by the potency of the omnipotent. Within the halo of the universe, there is a transcendental planet known as Svetadvip, which is the abode of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, the Paramatma feature of the Supreme Lord. Whenever there is trouble in the universe that cannot be solved by the administrative demigods, they approach Brahmaji for a solution. And if it's not to be solved even by Brahmaji, then Brahmaji consults and prays to Kshirodakshai Vishnu for an incarnation and solution to the problems. Such a problem arose when Kamsa and others were ruling the earth, and the earth became too much overburdened by the misdeeds of the Asuras. Brahmaji, along with other demigods, prayed at the shore of the Karna ocean, and they were advised of the descent of Krishna as the son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Some people say that the Lord appeared because of the prayers of Brahmaji. So here we're hearing more of the reasons why he appeared. And of course, all of these reasons line up to be correct. So Brahma also prayed. We also see that as you read in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Mother Earth was overburdened by demoniac forces. And the Lord Mother Earth took the form of a cow and went to Brahma and explained her situation, that the Earth planet is so heavy with the sinful activities that is causing much distress upon me and upon all living entities. So again, we hear and we understand when there's demons, there is never any peace. They just cause so many problems. Their business is to harass, exploit, kill, and control, or try to control everyone. So Prabhupada used to say, we don't have any problem with Maya. Maya is our friend because she is the energy of the Lord helping us to become more Krishna conscious. But because demons are there, then Maya has to do her job, and therefore there is so much problems in the world created by the demons. And then Brahma, along with some of the chief demigods, went to the ocean of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, as it's mentioned here. When the demigods could not solve the problem, it was time for the Lord to appear, and therefore Brahma went, and that is called the Purusha Shukta prayers. Those prayers are mentioned as the prayers offered by Brahma, who was there along with Indra, and Mother Bhumi came just to offer their obeisances, prayers, glorifications of Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who was an incarnation of Narayan. And the Lord agreed to come. And of course, at that time, the world was overburdened. So some people say even today, well, today, the world seems to be overburdened with demons. And Prabhupada says, yes, this is correct, because when he describes that, even when he was personally here, he said the demons are only increasing and they will continue to increase as time goes on. Then the devotees asked, well, will Krishna incarnate? Prabhupada said he has already incarnated. And then he explained that this incarnation is the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Kali Kale, Namarupa, Krishna Avatar, Namahoite Hayasarva Jagat Nistara, that the form of the name of the Lord is the incarnation of the Lord in this age. So Krishna personally comes, and we use the word personally with emphasis, in the form of this name. His name is none different than him. And therefore, when one chants his name and chants with enthusiasm, determination, and attention, one can feel the presence of the Lord. And in the presence of the Lord, everything becomes auspicious, and one gets complete protection from the harassment of the material energy. So we should take note of this point, because this chanting of the holy name is not simply a ritual for sound vibration. It is actually Krishna in sound who comes in order to purify his devotees, uproot sinful activities in the world, and elevate one back to pure devotional service, and eventually back to the spiritual world. So in this age, we are fortunate. We have actually many incarnations in this age. Krishna has come as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 535 years ago, 536 years ago. He has come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's also come in the form of Jagannath, who is also the manifestation of the incarnation of this age. So the Lord has come in at least 3 different forms in this age, but the Yuga Dharma, or the means for self-realization and the power of the Lord's mercy, is fully situated in the chanting of his holy name, which was personally delivered by him by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So if we seriously and regularly chant the holy names of the Lord, we will always be free from the effects of the material energy, and we can make progress towards pure devotional service. And therefore, this chanting is not limited to a certain numerical counting. Chanting should go on always. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantasta tadavitaha yatantasta devadvitya nitya yukta upasate. It mentions in the Bhagavad Gita that the great souls, they're always chanting the glories of the Lord. So who is a great soul? Anyone who's taken up devotional service is considered to be a Mahatma. Atma means soul and Maha means great. So a Mahatma, a great soul, is one who chants the holy names of the Lord, or one who takes up the process of pure devotional service. But to emphasize the success of the process of devotional service, the Mahatmas chant the glories of the Lord always, teaching us that this is the actual goal of Krishna consciousness. It's the platform of perfect knowledge. It's the platform of transcendental happiness. So one should practice this chanting always, 24 hours a day, or you might say as much as we possibly can and more. So this chanting is the Yuga Dharma. It's the fast track back to Godhead, and it is pure Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha, Purnya Sudya Nitya Mukta Abhinna Tvam Nami Namino. This verse is from the Padma Purana. It's a very wonderful glorification of the holy name. It says the holy name is Nitya, eternal, Mukta, liberating, Nitya Mukta, and it's Abhinna. Bhinna means different, and Abhinna means the same. It is non-different than Krishna himself in the form of sound. Nitya Mukta. So yeah, the holy name is pure. It has nothing to do with anything in this material world. It appears in the hearts of the pure devotees as it descends from the spiritual world, and they distribute this mercy to every conditioned soul. So taking advantage of the mercy given by the great souls who have received it from the Lord himself, we can be fully situated nicely in devotional service and attain eternal happiness and knowledge. So this principle cannot be overly stated. It can only be underly stated, and that is that the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is the panacea for all success in all areas. It covers everything. And although the world is full of demons, the chanting of the holy name protects the devotees completely and perfectly. And when the chanting of the holy name becomes powerful, then even the demons become destroyed simply by the sound vibration of the holy name. So it's a way to get rid of the demons by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yeah, so as it mentions here, the Lord incarnates on the request of his devotees. And sometimes he, just like he incarnated as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to bring the chanting of the holy name, he came on the request of Sri Advaita Acharya, who was an incarnation of Mahavishnu, who came prior to Lord Chaitanya to set the stage for the advent of Lord Chaitanya. And it was by his prayers that the Lord decided to come at that particular time. So we see there's always a pure devotee connected with the advent of the Lord. In this case, it was Brahmaji, or Chaitanya was Sri Advaita Acharya. In all of the incarnations, the Lord has his pure devotees who access his mercy, praying for his appearance into the world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, Maharaj, for enlightening us on this topic. And devotees, if you have any question, comments, realizations, please unmute yourself. It'll be really nice to keep your cameras on during the discussion and basically the whole class, so we can take a darshan. Thank you, Hare Krishna. And you can type in the chat box if you, and I will read it for your question if you're not able to talk. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Krishna came to free righteous and to kill demons. All those who were killed on Kurukshetra were demons. And the second question is, in this war, in that war, one side fought on the side of Dharma. I often hear from senior devotees that in this aggressive war of Russia against Ukraine, which already called as the Fourth World War, both sides are fighting on the side of Adharma. If this is true, then all those who fight in this war and die in it are also demons. Thank you.
That's your conclusion, huh?
Yes, it's my conclusion.
I don't think that anybody would agree with that. The wars are created by, envious and atheistic persons who want to exploit material energy and infringe upon others. And sometimes, apparently, innocent people get killed. So you can't say, we can't say everyone who gets killed is innocent, but we can say that somehow or other, due to their karma, they were affected by this war. And I wouldn't say every one of them would be adharma or demons. There were a lot of children, women, others who were victimized by the war. And so this is the nature of material energy. Somehow due to the circumstances, apparently persons who have nothing to do with war and do not like war or do not want it, somehow or other become victimized by it. Now there's something in their karma that caused them to suffer in that way. But you can't call them demons. They may be sinful, but not demons. Demons is a person who acts against religious principles. That's the definition of a demon. They act against the religious principles. They act for their own selfish interests. So there's a category of people who fit that category of demons. So you can't say that everyone who dies in war is a demon. It's not nearly correct. It's not right at all. I mean, if you go into the war itself and you somehow are in the wrong place, you could get killed. Krishna warns his devotees, get out of there. He helps his devotees get out. But if we don't take precautions, just like if we walk in front of a car, we'll get hit by the car. So the material world is a dangerous place, even for pious people, even for religious people. They can be also victimized by that if they don't take proper precautions or do not take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So I wouldn't say they were demons, and I don't think anyone would call everybody who dies in a war a demon. There are others who are victimized simply by material energy.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you,
Mark?
Prabhu. Yes, Mark, Prabhu, go ahead.
Oh, Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisances unto your lotus feet and all glory to Srila Prabhupada. You mentioned about Vasudev Krishna and Vrindavan Krishna. Can you please kindly elaborate more about it? Because that's the first time I've heard about that.
It's mentioned in the 10th canto of Bhagavatam that when Krishna was born in the jail cell, he was simultaneously he appeared in Vrindavan. So he appeared in two different places at the same time. And Mother Yasoda wasn't aware of the fact that she had two twins, one boy and one girl, because she fell asleep at childbirth. And then during that time she was sleeping, Vasudev came with the son that was born in the jail, which we know as Vaikuntha Krishna. He appeared in the jail cell with all his opulences, and he was dressed as a resident of Vaikuntha, the spiritual world. And so when he carried that baby and put it down and took the girl, although he couldn't see it, Krishna was already appeared from the womb of Mother Yasoda, but he was invisible. And so the two Krishnas merged into one. And those two Krishnas stayed in Vrindavan. And then, of course, when Akrura came later and he took Krishna out of Vrindavan, he never took Vrindavan Krishna out. Krishna separated again, and he took the Vasudev Krishna, that one that was born in Mathura, to kill Kamsa and to kill so many other demons. And Krishna remained unmanifested in the hearts of his devotees in Vrindavan. That's why it says Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. So these are this is the mysticism or the spiritual power of Krishna. He performs his pastimes like that. For him to appear in two places is nothing. He can appear in millions of places at once if he wants to. He's unlimitedly powerful. So the sweetness of this particular pastime is that the two Krishnas became one Krishna in Vrindavan, and Krishna grew up there, both as the mother of Yasoda, as the son of Yasoda and the son of Rohini, as Rohini was also the wife of Vasudev, and now she became also one of the mothers of Krishna, and her son, of course, was Balaram. But both mothers experienced being the mothers of both of these children.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is the mystical playground of Krishna.
Thank you, Prema Mataji. Any other questions, devotees?
Today is July 4th, and it's exactly 2 years today that His Holiness Bhakti Charus Swami Maharaj departed. It was in the year 2020 on the same day that he departed from the world. Of course, that was a great devastation upon the entire society of devotees and for many people in general. Maharaj was known as a Prabhupada man. He had dedicated his life completely to Prabhupada's mission in a very amazing way. Amazing in the sense that he had done so many outstanding services, especially building this beautiful temple in Ujjain, which became one of the major temples in the ISKCON society. And it's such a beautiful, if you haven't been to Ujjain, please go. It is, even that place itself, Ujjain, is such a holy place. It has such a tradition of being a holy place. It's one of the places where the Kumbh Mela is performed also. Maharaj also was instrumental in translating Srila Prabhupada's books from English into Bengali. Prabhupada gave him that mission, translate my books into Bengali, and he did, which was a monumental task, considering the amount of work that was needed. Maharaj dedicated himself to that. He also was known as the gentleman of ISKCON. He exhibited ideal prachar. He was sadachar. In other words, he was the perfect example of Vaishnav culture, Vaishnav character, Vaishnav behavior. All of the qualities of a Vaishnav were fully exhibited in Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So friendly, so loving, so available, and so enthusiastic to preach Krishna consciousness deep in the knowledge that Srila Prabhupada had gave, and which he dedicated to serving Srila Prabhupada with that knowledge. He made so many thousands of devotees around the world. One or two of them actually became sannyasis. He preached everywhere: the United States, India, Europe, and other places around the world. His preaching, I was very much blessed by his association. I had a lot of association with Bhakti Charu Maharaj, and that was my good fortune, both in Ujjain and especially in Chicago when he came to Chicago. I was the resident sannyasi staying in Chicago, and Maharaj would come. He actually initiated our temple president in Chicago also, and many other devotees there. Chicago was one of his main places in the United States for preaching, and he did many programs there, made devotees there, and everyone loved him because he was such a lovable person. And he showed his affection to his godbrothers in a very visible way. And very, very powerful when he would speak. The depth of his knowledge was amazing. He would present the scriptures in the most interesting and unique way, going deeper and deeper into the philosophy. This was some of the few of the amazing qualities. His books on Vaishnav etiquette are considered to be the best in ISKCON. He taught Vaishnav etiquette. He was the ideal example for it, and he also taught it in a very extensive way, in a very expert way. Actually, personally, I use his books on Vaishnav etiquette when I want to teach that particular subject matter. He's the best in that area. So many amazing qualities. He opened up an Ayurvedic hospital in Ujjain. He was very close and dear to Srila Prabhupada. He was actually Prabhupada's cook for many years. He helped the secretaries and the personal assistants and he helped them serve Prabhupada in the same capacity. So he was such an amazing devotee on all levels. For whatever reason, Krishna decided to end his existence on this earth planet, and we have no doubt that he is with Krishna in the spiritual world, or if he's not, he's somewhere in the material world making with Srila Prabhupada, preaching.
We'll just wait for a few seconds, maybe a few minutes while Guru Maharaj logged back in. I think it was got disconnected. Sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. Yeah, he would log back in soon. Do we have any disciples of Bhakti Charu Maharaj on the call? Maybe not. Sridevi Mataji, did you ever
Yes,
had?
Mataji. I am Bhakti Charu.
Yes, Bharati Mataji, thank you. Humble obeisances of Vishla Prabhupada.
Yeah, I got initiated in New Mayapur.
Very nice.
And got connected with Candramauli Maharaj on the retreat
Okay.
in New Mayapur, and asked Maharaj if I could join his sessions that he's giving, and he very kindly accepted.
Very nice, very nice.
So yeah.
So do you have any, while we are waiting, you can maybe just, as soon as Guru Maharaj comes, we may have to stop, but you can share any memories you have with Bhakti Charu Maharaj. It will be really nice to hear.
Yes, Mataji. Just hang on. Let me just
It's okay, take your time.
connect my speakers again, because I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, Mataji, we have got good memories about Bhakti Charu Maharaj. We actually met him a few times, personally. And we had also had dinner with him, which was really good, So yeah, got really good. And we also went to Diland. He's got his project there in Diland, and we went to help for a week. And we got good association there as well with him, for a lot longer than you actually expect with the Maharaj. It was about more than an hour where he just sat and talked. He was extremely kind, like Maharaj just said, that he's so kind, and so caring. And this is the experience we had about him, yes.
Did you ever visited Ujjain temple where he was?
Yes, we did go we visited Ujjain temple, but Maharaj was not there at that time. But we visited it, and it's a very beautiful temple. Very beautiful. We were going to go, but I think Maharaj left just few days before we arrived in Ujjain, kind of thing, to go on a different mission of his. And that temple is really worth seeing. It's beautiful. He built it in just 10 months, or even less than 10 months. A beautiful temple, that was built so fast. Yeah. He's also made a whole series about Prabhupada. Abhaya Charan, it's called, which you can buy on a pen drive at the moment, which is really, really good as well, because he just tells us exactly what Prabhupada's life was like. So it was very good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And this pen drive you're talking about in our temple, actually, to the volunteers, few of the main volunteers, we gave out this Bhakti Charu Maharaj's pen drive as a gift to a few devotees who are volunteering for the services at the temple. Yes, very nice. And visited this own temple. Guru Maharaj is online. Okay, so
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you, Mataji, for sharing your experience with Bhakti Charu Maharaj. Thank you.
No
Thank you.
problem.
Yeah, I have a very unstable internet connection here. So anyway, we'll stop there and see if there's any devotees want to speak a little bit about Maharaj, they can, or continue to ask questions.
Sure, Maharaj. So we had Bharti Mataji, who is, Bhakti Charu Maharaj's disciple, and she was just sharing her experience with Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Maharaj, recently when she got initiated and spent some time with Maharaj. So it was nice. Anyone else? If you have spent any time, you had association with Bhakti Charu Maharaj, it would be really nice to glorify Maharaj today. So I would like to say about, if you have not, like Guru Maharaj has already explained about, Jain temple, and that's the place where my husband is born and brought up from. And it's a very beautiful temple, very nice Radha Madan Mohan deities, and Lita Vishakha and Gaunitai, and Nursing Dev has been installed as well there. And the service standards are very, very high. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Shriji Mataji. Yes, so a beautiful temple, and there is a guest house as well. Very nice staying facility, and so please, if you have time, go and visit that place. Thank you. If you have any comments, clarification, or talk, if you have any questions, please ask. We have
Install this.
Thank you very much. I guess we can end here. Sri Devi,